Hey guys, give me a fire bros. So today what we're going to do is we're going to finish this firewall. As you can see, and I'll show you a little sped up version of, I have everything gapped, everything is ready. So I took the whole front end apart, bag tagged everything, have it sitting here. The fenders are in a little shed in the back, so they stay out of the weather. But anyway, so today what I'm going to do is I ordered my vintage air bung here. I want to fit that. I'm using Wilwood manual brakes, so when I ordered this firewall, I had them do the manual brakes for this. It takes a Tilton 76 clutch, which is designed for that also, and Ididit steering column. So they tell you everything when you order this. You tell them what you're going to use, and they get it all ready for you. So this is also designed for a cable drive LS system. So do that, and also that corner over there gets the DSE wipers, but you have to reclock it so it can work, because usually they sit here, but it's buried under the fender there. So I have all this stuff minus the DSE, but it's 3 screws, so we'll see. Hopefully I can order that. I'm going to get all this size done here, ready to go. So the first thing we're going to start with is the clutch, the stock clutch. The steering clutch, everything holds all the pedals. This was a 4-speed manual stock, so I have all the stock pedals and everything. I am upgrading those, but I am going to use the stock steering brace, pedal brace, everything. So we'll go through all that. All right, so we're going to start by talking about all of the pieces and parts we're going to need to do this job. So you can see I just got my new Ididit steering column. No keyhole because the Camaro has it on the dash, and it's a 4-speed, so there's no shifter. So Black Friday deal, I think I paid for $4.50, so it wasn't bad. Ididit, the pass-through. Here's a kit. There's, I don't know, $100. You can see where this thing goes through. It'll mount right here. The holes are already drilled for it. Vintage air bungs that go through the firewall here, and then the Wilwood manual brake system. So it's got, I've already installed this. It was pretty easy. Just basically it gives you everything you need to put these together. Tons of parts. So and then the stock steering bracket, which we took these bolts out already, as you can see. And then this is what they give you to mount, to adjust your clutch with. And then this is the block off plate, because we're running manuals. So it'll just go like that, blocks all those holes off. So one of the things that I don't have yet is my Tilton master for my T56, which mounts here. And the DSE windshield wiper unit, which by the time we finish this video, we'll have all that. So, Borgeson quick steer. I believe I know I ordered that from Ride Tech when I did all the suspension. But one of the things I've already noticed is I'm gonna have to get an adapter from the Ididit to this. What they gave me is entirely too small. The one that came with it. So let's call Ididit, figure it out. I did talk to Ididit at Dino's Get Down, which we were just at not too long ago, about all these parts and how they work through this. So anyway, so we're gonna get going, trying this stuff on. Alright guys, so see, we stripped this thing down, so we're gonna mount it now in here. You know, it uses those 3 bolts. What I did is I went to Lowe's and got grade 8 nuts. I do have the original bolts that go on here, but they're pretty bad shape. So I just went to grade 8 with Nylox, and they're a 3/8/16. So I got Nylox and washers, so I'll get this mounted in here now. Okay guys, so I think I may have put the cart before the horse on the steering column thing, so we'll go review that. Got that initial brace in there, but I forgot the whole steering column has to go together when you bolt that up. So anyway, I'm gonna mount this Wilwood because it goes to the front of that brace. That way it'll hold it in place while I unbolt it, can hold the steering column. Everything's connected in this pedal assembly. So just kind of forgot, it's been a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this. What I did is I went about 1.5 inches, 5/16, 18, grade 8 hardware. Obviously this stuff's not stock, so you kind of gotta figure out what you're gonna do. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go back in there and loosen it all up so I can move it. Of course, I always like to do everything 3 times. So let's get in there and loosen that up, and then hopefully we'll be able to adjust it. All right, so I went in there to adjust it more. Turns out the plate in there fell. So there's plenty of room. It fits flat now. So I'm gonna go in there and get washers and bolts on. Try to hillbilly up something real quick. This, if it does fall, doesn't scratch it all up. It's mounted now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this cap on. Just, I don't want it to get too dirty sitting here. But I had to get help because obviously I couldn't be inside the car and the firewall at the same time. So, got the camera moved. So we're gonna mount this steering shaft in here, and it goes up into these bolts here. So I am gonna have to get myself contorted in here to be able to hold this thing still while I get some bolts in here. So try not to laugh. So you can see now that I took that rag joint off, everything's gonna line up. I mean, there's some adjustability left in that steering column too, but I'm just trying to see how this floor mount fits in here. So it looks like it's gonna fit fine. Once these get in here, they squeeze the back ring and it'll push that ball through to where it belongs. But I'm just trying right now to make sure that all those holes line up, that were pre-drilled. Looks like they're going to. So anyway, you kind of get the point of what's going on there. I'll turn the camera off. You see me. Well, I need to watch me do those last bolts. Some of the stuff gets so hard trying to do it from out here, going inside by yourself. So that's finally in now. I got the bolts in, got them tightened. So a little trouble just getting these things seated and being able to hold these from the inside. Just go over what this firewall is designed with. Vintage air bungs, which I test fit, they fit perfect. Borgson adapter, which I had to order it with my Ididit steering column, which obviously I did a steering column. I did it pass through as a floor mount. So your pass through your firewall is nice. Test fit that. That's a Tilton 76 master cylinder for my T56. And then I went with the Wilwood manual brakes system in here, and the DSE wiper system, which it's hidden. So we have to reclock that, and we'll go through that when we go to finish this firewall. But I did have to send my Ididit steering column back. The main shaft was loose inside there, but I was able to at least test fit it before I sent it back. It fit great. So now what I'm going to do is tear this apart, and I will do metal prep to it. I'll show you how I scrub it and do all that stuff. Then we'll epoxy it. Then we'll start all the body work so it's really smooth by the time it's done. And then we're going to start painting the firewall and the inner fenders and all that stuff, get it all back together so I can do the outside body work. Pretty exciting day for me. You guys know, if you've followed me for any length of time, it's been about 14 years of working overtime and saving up, and you know, life gets in the way, so little breaks here and there too. So anyway, So we're gonna get on that. We're gonna tear this apart. I kept all the original boxes. So I'll put everything back in the boxes. We'll seal them up. I'll move them out to my shed where hopefully with all the sanding dust and stuff that's gonna happen in here, none of these expensive parts get ruined. I will be taking my car out to do the metal prep. I'll cover up all the frame and the powder coating. But when I do bring it back in here, I'm gonna remove the frame. It'll just be easier for me to do bodywork and I'll get it lifted up a little bit. You guys know when I did the series with the frame connectors, I didn't connect them all the way. I just got them in and slid them in. I didn't do the side bolts because I knew it was gonna come back out for this part. So once it's done, that'll all go back in for the final time and we'll get all this together, but get the engine and transmission in here, get everything plumbed, looking good. Then I'll put the fenders back on for the final time, get everything lined up, work some gaps over. I'm pretty close anyway before I tore this apart. I did all that. And then this engine bay, I'll just have to mask off when I paint the outside. So hopefully I'll be able to do the firewall and the door jambs and everything when I paint this. If not, I'll just concentrate on this front area for now. I don't know if it's the right way, the wrong way, but it's the way I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna get to work, take this all apart, and we're gonna get this thing outside and metal prepped.